This question from your textbook on page 235, it's an iron tablet titration question. We're just going to focus on the calculation. So we're told in the analysis of iron tablets to determine the amount of iron sulfate per tablet, 4 tablets whose total mass was 0.96 grams were dissolved in dilute sulfuric acid and made up to 250 centimeter cubed in a volumetric flask. The average titration figure was 4.51 centimeters cubed when 25 centimeter cube portions of the solution were titrated against the 0.015 molar potassium permanganate solution. So what I've done is, first of all, written out my balanced equation, okay, for this reaction, and that's given to me in the question here also, okay. I have just gotten my table together, okay. So I'm comparing permanganate with iron, and the molar ratio there, the reaction ratio is 1:5. So I highlighted in blue the instructions from the book, the details from the textbook, from the questions, and I've popped them into my table. So I have molar ratio, I have the number of moles, the volume in litres, and the concentration in moles per litre. So I was told in the question that I had a 0.015 I should say, molar solution of potassium permanganate, and the titration value there was 4.51. That was the reading from the burette, and in the conical flask with 25 centimeter cubed of the iron tablet solution. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to work out the number of moles of the permanganate. So for my not very complicated triangle, number of moles is volumes times concentration. Okay, so my volume in litres, so 4.51 centimeter cubed is 0.00451 litres. So I multiply to work out the number of moles, I multiply the volume, which is 0.00451, times the concentration, which is 0.015, and I get 6.765 by 10 to the minus 5. Leave that number on the calculator. To work out then the number of moles of iron that we have, we need to multiply by 5. So when I multiply by 5, I get 3.3825 by 10 to the minus 4. Okay, so this was my first step. This is my second step. Now, my third step, I'm going to work out the concentration of iron. So the concentration using my triangle is number of moles divided by volume. So I have my number of moles here now. Okay, I divide by the volume, which is 0.025 litres, okay, and I end up with 0.01353 moles per litre. So that's the concentration of my iron tablet solution. Now remember earlier also in the question it told us that 4 tablets have a mass of 0.96 grams and they were made up to 250 centimetre cubed. Okay, so we've a lot of work done now. Okay, so we're asked in part A to calculate the mass of anhydrous iron sulfate in each tablet. So from my table I know the concentration of the iron tablets is 0.01353 moles per litre. Now I didn't have a litre, it was made up to 250, so I'm going to divide by 4, which means in that 250 centimetre cube volumetric flask I had 3.3825 by 10 to the minus 3 moles, okay? Now I want to know how much anhydrous iron sulfate had per tablet. So there's 4 tablets, so I need to divide that answer by 4. So when I divide this answer by 4, I have 8.456 by 10 to the minus 4 moles per tablet. Okay, but I'm not asked for moles here, I'm asked for mass, okay? So I get my mass of iron sulfate by adding up the individual relative atomic masses. That gives me 152. So I multiply the number of moles of iron sulfate I had per tablet by the mass, the molar mass of molecular mass of iron sulfate, and I get 0.1285 grams of iron sulfate per tablet. Okay, part B, I'm asked to work out the mass of iron in each tablet. Okay, so now I'm being asked not to get the mass of iron sulfate, I'm being asked to get the mass of iron. So let's go back to the number of moles per tablet, which we had up here, which is 8.456 by 10 to the minus 4 moles per tablet. So now I'm multiplying that value by the relative atomic mass of iron, which is 56, and that'll give me the mass of iron per tablet, which is 0.0474 grams. Okay, then finally I'm asked to work out the the percentage of iron sulfate in each tablet. Okay, so to work out the percentage of iron sulfate in each tablet, I have earlier in part A worked out that I had 0.1285 grams of iron sulfate per tablet. I divide that by the mass of a tablet, one tablet, so 4 tablets are 0.96 grams, so divide that number by 4. So to get the percentage of iron sulfate per tablet, it's 0.1285 grams divided by the mass of one tablet, 0.24, times 100 over 1, which gives me 53.54%.